as Girl as It Gets, Japanese Girl, into Season 2. Matt Armstrong stared at the quarterly report on his screen. The numbers refused to improve. Across the cubicle wall, he heard Nicholas Duncan sigh. They shared the same problem. Their logistics and marketing departments at Moisaka's California branch kept missing targets. They met 3 years ago, interning at this same office. Both came from southern states, Matt from Alabama, Nick from Louisiana. Their similar backgrounds built a quick friendship, strengthened by a shared love for college football and a similar, lanky build. After graduation, Moisaka hired them as junior managers. The high cost of living in California forced them to split an apartment. Their friendship grew in that shared space. The intercom on Matt's phone buzzed. "Mr. Armstrong, Mr. Duncan, Mr. Tyson wants you in the conference room, now." Matt stood, catching Nick's eye over the partition. Nick shrugged, running a hand through his dirty blonde hair, tied back in its usual low ponytail. Matt mirrored the gesture, pushing his own black hair behind his shoulders. They walked down the sterile hallway together. Jefferson Tyson, their branch manager, stood at the head of the polished table. A grim smile touched his lips. "Sit, we have a situation." He projected last quarter's dismal results onto the screen. "The CEO is flying in from Tokyo next week. He's reviewing all underperforming branches. Our heads are on the block." Nick leaned forward. "The market analysis shows a regional downturn. Our competitors are also struggling. It's not mismanagement. It's the economy." "I need you two to prove that," Tyson said. "Build the presentation, clear data, solid reasoning. You'll present it to Mr. Agname yourselves." Matt felt a knot in his stomach. Presenting to the CEO meant visibility. It also meant taking direct blame if the reasoning failed. They worked through the night in their apartment, surrounded by pizza boxes and energy drinks. Spreadsheets, graphs, competitor reports. They built a narrative of external factors. By morning, they had a concise 15-minute presentation. A week later, they stood in the same conference room. Mr. Agname sat at the head of the table, a silent, older Japanese man in an impeccable suit. His eyes gave nothing away as Matt clicked through the slides, with Nick delivering the supporting commentary. They finished. The room stayed quiet. Mr. Agname gave a single, slow nod, a clear assessment. "Thank you." That was all. He left the room with his assistants. Tyson remained, releasing a long breath. "Good work. I think that went well." 6 weeks passed. The daily grind resumed. Then, Tyson called them back to his office. He held a memo on crisp, expensive paper. This came from Tokyo headquarters. He looked at them, a strange mix of pride and resignation on his face. "They're transferring you, both of you, to the main office." Matt's mind blanked. "To Tokyo?" "Immediately. The company handles all costs, housing, medical, and relocation. This is a major opportunity. Few foreign employees get this call." Tyson pushed the memo across the desk. They were impressed. "They want you there as soon as possible." Nick picked up the paper, scanning the formal language. "Our leases are month to month. We can be ready, but we need passports. Get the applications today. Expedite them." "I'll inform headquarters of the timeline," Tyson said, though his expression suggested headquarters would not like the delay. The passport process promised a wait of weeks. But 1 week later, a courier from the Japanese consulate arrived at Tyson's office. He delivered 2 dark blue emergency passports. Tyson examined them. The names inside were Matsuri Armstrong and Nikiko Duncan. He called Matt and Nick back. "Your travel documents are ready. You leave tomorrow. A diplomat will escort you. Use these." He handed over the passports. Matt stared at the unfamiliar name next to his photo. "Matsuri?" "A requirement for the emergency passport," they said. "It won't affect your legal name. Just use it for the journey." Tyson's tone left no room for discussion. "Pack your bags. A car picks you up at 5 a.m." The speed left them dizzy. That evening, they packed 2 suitcases each, leaving most of their California lives in cardboard boxes for storage. The scale of the change hit them sitting on their sofa, surrounded by bare walls. "Tokyo," Nick said, the word hanging in the empty room. "A big honor," Matt replied, repeating Tyson's phrase. It felt necessary to say. Their flight left LAX on a Friday morning. The company driver took them directly to the headquarters building in Tokyo on Saturday afternoon. They lost a day crossing the international date line. The building was a sleek tower of glass and steel, bustling with activity even on a weekend. A young woman named Mikio met them in the gleaming lobby. She bowed. "Welcome, I will guide you through the first steps. Please come." She led them to the Human Resources office. The director, Mr. Pri, Asahi Ketmoto, greeted them with a stack of documents. "Your contracts. 1 year of employment. The company provides all necessities: medical, dental, clothing, meals, and housing. In return, you follow all company policies, show respect to superiors, and honor our culture." He pointed to the signature lines. "Sign with your passport names, Matsuri and Nikiko." The contracts were in Japanese. Matt hesitated. "We can't read these." Mr. Ketmoto smiled. "I have explained the terms. This is standard. Your commitment is necessary." They signed. Photos were taken for ID badges. The badges, they were told, would act as keys, credit cards, and identification. Next, they were measured for company clothing by 2 efficient seamstresses. The process was clinical. Measurements were recorded without comment. Mr. Gist. Ketmoto then directed Mikio to take them to the medical clinic for a physical. "Company policy. You will follow all instructions from the medical staff." The clinic was a full facility within the building. Dr. Ito, a tall, thin man, conducted their examinations. He gave them several injections. "Vaccinations, necessary for your health here." Afterwards, Mikio showed them to their apartments, 2 small adjoining units on a high floor. Each room held a futon, a low table, a wall-mounted television, and a bathroom molded from white plastic. The floor was tatami matting. The space was compact, efficient. The cafeteria is open 24 hours. Laundry is collected every Friday. "Your badge covers all expenses, tracked by accounting," Mikio explained. "Rest now. I will return to take you to dinner." The door closed. Silence enveloped the small room. Matt looked at Nick standing in the identical space next door. "Well," Matt said, "we're here." Nick nodded, staring at the futon. "Yeah, here we are." Mikio returned as promised. She led them down to the cafeteria. The room resembled a school dining hall, long tables, bright lights. Employees sat in quiet groups, eating. No one spoke above a murmur. They swiped their badges at the entrance. Mikio directed them to a table where 3 bowls and several small plates already waited. A pair of chopsticks and a spoon lay neatly beside them. "This is gohan," Mikio said, indicating the meal. "A balanced dinner." Matt looked at the bowls. One held brown rice with grains of barley, topped with a small, whole smoked fish. Another contained a murky soup with bits of vegetables. A plate held pickled vegetables and a salad of vinegary greens. A central dish held diced chicken and pork with onions. "No fork?" Nick asked. Mikio smiled. "You learn. Try." They tried. Chopsticks slipped from their fingers, rice grains scattered. Nick gave up first, using the spoon for the rice and soup. Matt persisted, managing to grip a piece of chicken. The fish stared up at Matt with a glossy eye. He didn't touch it. The pickled vegetables smelled sharp, fermented. He ate the plain rice, the soup, and some of the main dish. His stomach remained unsatisfied. Mikio watched their struggles, her expression polite. "You will adapt. The food is healthy, designed for stamina." After dinner, she took them to a small office. A man named Haruto waited. He was their orientation instructor. Mikio demonstrated a bow, hands clasped, a deep bend at the waist. "You bow when you meet Sensei Haruto. You bow when you leave. He is your superior." They bowed. It felt awkward, unnatural. Haruto placed virtual reality headsets over their eyes and ears. This lesson covers basic etiquette. Watch and listen. The VR program began. It showed scenes of office life. A junior employee bowing to a senior, presenting documents with both hands, never pointing with chopsticks. A calm voice explained the concept of face. Personal dignity. Gained through respect, lost through criticism or refusal. The lesson emphasized harmony. The group over the individual. The narration repeated these points. The session lasted an hour. When the headsets came off, the room felt dim. Haruto dismissed them without a word. Mikio was waiting outside. Your day starts early. Gym at 6, then the clinic, then salon, then more orientation. She handed them printed schedules. Do not be late. Natness shows disrespect. Back in their apartments, fatigue hit them. The time difference, the travel, and the overwhelming newness left them drained. A lot to take in, Nick said, leaning against his doorway. It's just orientation, Matt replied. 2 weeks. Then we get our real assignments. It'll make sense then. They said goodnight. Morning came with a sharp electronic chirp from a wall panel. It was 5:30 a.m. Matt showered in the small plastic bathroom, the water pressure needle-like. He put on his own clothes, jeans and a t-shirt. Nick did the same. At 6, they met Mikio outside the gym entrance. She wore sleek athletic wear. Change inside. Your uniforms are in lockers. The locker room was communal. Men and women changed together without partitions. No one paid them attention. Matt kept his eyes fixed on the floor-numbered lockers. He found his. Inside hung black silk pants and a pink silk shirt, along with a black undergarment that looked like a jockstrap. The shoes had a slight wedge heel. Nick held up identical clothing. This is the gym uniform? Yes, Mikio said from the doorway. Change, quickly. They changed, turning their backs to the room. The silk felt strange against skin, slippery, cool. The undergarment compressed and lifted, creating a smooth front. They avoided looking at each other. The gym held a dozen employees already stretching on mats, all women. They glanced at Matt and Nick, then continued their routines. An instructor, a muscular woman named Ichika, led the class through a series of yoga poses. The movements were slow, deliberate, and deeply straining. The muscles they never used burned. After 45 minutes, Ichika clapped. The class bowed to her. They filed back to the locker room for showers. The shower area had no stalls. One large, steaming wooden tub sat in the center, smelling of flowers and herbs. The women rinsed at small stations, then soaked in the tub, small towels over their laps. They chatted softly. Matt and Nick rinsed off quickly, keeping their undergarments on, and soaped in the hot water. The heat soothed their aching muscles. This is different, Nick murmured. Communal, Matt said. Just a cultural thing. But his face felt warm, and not from the water. After the gym, Mikio took them to the clinic. Dr. Ito greeted them. Good. Your daily checkup. Ensure you are adapting. He gave them each an injection. Vitamins. Boost your immune system for local conditions. Then, another VR headset. This session will help with language acquisition. Relax. The session lasted an hour. When it ended, Matt felt disoriented. The morning blurred together. The salon visit was next. An older woman, Akari, oversaw them. She spoke in Japanese to Mikio, who translated. Muesaka values neat appearance. You will have grooming every 2 weeks. They were waxed, backs, chests, legs. The pain was sharp, sudden. Afterward, their skin felt raw, smooth. A manicurist filed their nails into oval shapes, applying a clear coat. A facial treatment followed, and creams were massaged into their faces and necks. Lunch in the cafeteria was the same Gohan arrangement. They ate with chopsticks, their movements slightly more confident. The fish remained untouched. The afternoon held more VR orientation, public behavior, subway etiquette, waste sorting. The message of harmony played again. Work for the group. Maintain face. At dinner, Mikio joined them. You are learning. Good. Remember, tomorrow you receive your company work uniforms. A tailor will visit you after breakfast. That evening, in his apartment, Matt examined his reflection. His skin looked red from the waxing. His fingernails shone. He felt clean, scrubbed, and oddly lightweight. A notification chimed on his badge. A message in Japanese flashed on its small screen. He couldn't read it. He walked to Nick's open doorway. Nick was looking at his own badge. "You get a message?" Matt asked. "Yeah, can't read it. Probably tomorrow's schedule." Nick nodded. He looked tired. "My head feels full. Like, too much noise. It's the language stuff. It'll sink in." They stood in silence for a moment. The hum of the building's ventilation was the only sound. "You think this is normal?" Nick asked. "All this? Grooming?" "It's a big company. They have an image. We're representing them now." Matt sounded more convinced than he felt. Nick just nodded again. "Right. An image." Matt returned to his room. He lay on the futon, the tatami mat firm beneath him. He stared at the ceiling. The clinic injection site on his arm felt warm. He replayed the day in his mind, the gym, the waxing, the VR lessons. A structured, seamless system. He was inside it now. The thought brought a strange calm. The noise in his head faded, replaced by a steady, quiet pulse, like the building's own heartbeat.